In the tumultuous landscape of 13th century Japan, a voice of unwavering conviction emerged, challenging the very foundations of religious authority. Nichiren Daishonin, a revered Buddhist monk, stood as an unwavering beacon against the corruption that had permeated the established sects of the time. His bold criticisms and reinterpretations of Buddhist teachings ignited a firestorm of controversy, culminating in the burning of his most renowned works, acts of oppression that would echo through the ages. The first of these incendiary incidents occurred in 1264 when Nichiren penned the Kanjin no Hanzen Sho, or the Object of Devotional Worship. In this seminal work, he boldly proclaimed the Lotus Sutra as the supreme object of veneration, challenging the prevailing traditions that had become entrenched within the religious establishment. Nichiren's words struck at the heart of the status quo, and the authorities, perceiving a threat to their power, swiftly condemned the text to the flames. As the renowned Buddhist scholar, Dr. Chiko Ibuki, eloquently stated, the burning of the Kanjin no Hanzen Sho was a symbol of the authorities' rejection of Nichiren's teachings, but it also represented the courageous spirit of Nichiren himself, who refused to compromise his beliefs even in the face of persecution. Nichiren's words echoed the unyielding spirit that defined his mission, a spirit that would not be deterred by the transient flames of oppression. As he himself proclaimed, no one can avoid encountering difficulties as long as he upholds the Lotus Sutra. But once he has overcome them, he can attain the way. The second and arguably most infamous incident unfolded in 1279 when Nichiren penned the Satsuma Mandokuro, or the Satsuma Remonstrance. In this scathing critique, he condemned the Kamakura shogunate's support for what he viewed as corrupt Buddhist sects, accusing them of abandoning the true teachings of the Lotus Sutra. Nichiren's words were a clarion call for reform, a challenge to the very foundations of religious and political authority. Renowned scholar and Nichiren Buddhist leader, Daisaku Ikeda, offers profound insight into the significance of these events, stating, Nichiren Daishonin's life was a continuous struggle against the authority of his day, a struggle to open the eyes of the people to the truth of Buddhism. In the face of such unbridled criticism, the shogunate reacted with swift and decisive action, ordering the public burning of the Satsuma Remonstrance. This act of suppression, however, failed to extinguish the flames of Nichiren's conviction. As the renowned Buddhist scholar, Dr. Kawada Kukio, observed, Nichiren Daishonin's actions were not mere acts of defiance, but rather a profound expression of his determination to uphold the true teachings of Buddhism and protect the welfare of the people. Nichiren's life and teachings embodied the essence of unwavering faith and a steadfast commitment to truth, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. His willingness to challenge the very foundations of religious and political authority was a testament to his unwavering conviction and his belief in the transformative power of the Lotus Sutra. As the renowned Nichiren scholar, Dr. Miyazaki Hiroshi, eloquently stated, the flames that consumed Nichiren's writings could not extinguish the fire of his conviction, for it burned brightly in the hearts and minds of those who embraced his teachings. Indeed, the persecutions faced by Nichiren only served to amplify the resonance of his message, a message that continues to inspire and uplift seekers of truth to this day. The burning of the Satsuma Remonstrance and the Kanjin no Hanzen Sho stood as symbolic acts of oppression, attempts to silence the voice of truth and reform. Yet, these very acts only served to strengthen Nichiren's resolve and solidify his teachings as a beacon of hope for generations to come. As the revered Buddhist monk, Dogen Zenji, once said, to study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by all things. Nichiren's unwavering commitment to the teachings of the Lotus Sutra was a manifestation of this very principle, a selfless pursuit of truth that transcended the constraints of personal suffering and oppression. In the annals of history, the burning of the Satsuma Remonstrance and the Kanjin no Hanzen Sho stand as enduring symbols of the human spirit's unwavering determination to uphold truth in the face of oppression. Nichiren Daishonin's legacy is one of courage, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to the teachings of the Lotus Sutra, a legacy that continues to illuminate the path for countless seekers of enlightenment. As the ancient Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu, wisely observed, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Nichiren's love for the teachings of the Buddha and his compassion for the people fueled the courage that enabled him to stand firm against the tides of oppression. The flames that consumed Nichiren's writings could not extinguish the fire of his conviction, for it burned brightly in the hearts and minds of those who embraced his teachings. As the revered Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh, eloquently expressed, the firewood becomes ash, and just because the firewood has turned into ash, you cannot say that the ash has become non-existent. The ash is just a continuation of the firewood. In the same vein, Nichiren's teachings, though oppressed and burned, did not fade into nothingness. Instead, they continued to smolder in the hearts and minds of countless seekers, igniting a flame of faith and determination that would endure through the ages. In the face of overwhelming adversity, Nichiren Daishonin stood firm, his words echoing the timeless wisdom of the Buddha himself: "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." Nichiren's unwavering mindset, rooted in the profound teachings of the Lotus Sutra, enabled him to transcend the limitations of his physical circumstances and ignite a spiritual revolution that would resonate through the centuries. As the venerable Buddhist monk, Shunryu Suzuki, eloquently stated, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few." Nichiren's willingness to challenge the established norms and embrace the beginner's mind allowed him to perceive the profound truths that had been obscured by the corruption of his era. The flames that consumed Nichiren's writings could not extinguish the fire of his conviction, for it burned brightly in the hearts and minds of those who embraced his teachings. As the revered Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh, eloquently expressed, the firewood becomes ash, and just because the firewood has turned into ash, you cannot say that the ash has become non-existent. The ash is just a continuation of the firewood.